it seems to be really difficult for mental health services on campuses to get students to walk in. I know when I was a college student, the idea of walking into a strange building and being visible to other people on the campus in a waiting room, waiting to be seen for mental health stuff was really kind of terrifying. And I had a lot of stigmas around being outed as a crazy person. So I was really uncomfortable about it. The first few shows were so not only just exhausting because they were 2 hours long, but what I didn't anticipate to happen was at Q&As afterwards, after the Q&A, people would come up to me and almost seek me out like a social worker and tell me, you know, I've been depressed for a long time. I don't know what to do. So because I didn't know how to handle a lot of these very personal questions that people had about friends or family members who are going to commit suicide and what should I do, Kristina Wong, I started to invite social workers and mental health workers at campuses that I was performing at or in local cities and communities I was performing at to be part of post-show discussions. So now at Q&As, I have therapists and mental health workers and people from community mental health organizations come at the Q&As and participate and answer some of those personal questions. And they often tell me they're very grateful that I have made a show about it, which I'm happy to hear that all these years of suffering making a show is not for naught. But they tell me that that it's really helpful to have this kind of open space where people can come in and there isn't the stigma around depression, like, oh my God, I'm in a place and I'm talking about depression and suicide with other people. Is it because I'm crazy? No, they're just at a show, which kind of helps normalize the conversation around depression and suicide, that it's not like nobody feels like outed, but it helps students know that, oh, I didn't know I could see this counselor that was on this campus. And a lot of counselors have been complaining that, well, what I hear from a lot of counselors on campuses is that it is tricky for them to get students to come in because there's no way to find out who actually needs to be seen, because people who don't want to be seen just, they just don't get seen. So I'm really grateful to have the show be that kind of tool. I'm very happy to report that our DVD is being acquired by mental health offices. That therapists have been acquiring our DVD, have been giving it to clients, that it's being shown in community mental health organizations and helping create more dialogue. I've actually had the experience of being presented at several college campuses where there has been a student suicide, maybe weeks before or the semester before, and the campuses don't know what to do. And so they try to do talks, open talks and dialogues with the students. So they decided to bring the show because it's easier, of course, to watch a humorous show about the issue and have therapists come after. And it can be really intense because there is a lot of sadness in the room. There is a lot of confusion and people wanting to know what they could have done to prevent it. And I don't always have all the answers, but I do feel like it starts with dialogue. It's about trying to remove the stigma around what depression is. I feel like if we are talking about it more, if we see more Asian people talking about it, that will help remove the stigma. If more Asian Americans, not so much are like, yeah, I'm depressed, because that's, that is a very private thing to out yourself as being depressed, but it's okay to talk about. It's okay to make those services known.